Lixdof Street Sports, Sports and Entertainment.
Yamwakwaba eba Lixdof TV so YouTube channel na program yi Lixdof Street Sports aha ye de nyoma ekose wo sports ni mu nyina ebro na de wo mu no se asema abetodwa ewo Ghana ha sei na yepese ye demba na wo so uhunu se ye njawo yi bukra adini top players as in 10 likely of them to make the Black Stars squad for Qatar 2022. So 10 players likely to make the Black Star squad for Qatar 2022. Now, this is it. Coach Ado, head coach for Ghana Black Star, is expected to release his provisional squad for the World Cup in the upcoming days. As a directive from FIFA, participants or more ebono should be not less than 35. It's a provisional squad of not more than 35 players in the final week of October should be determined by the coach, of which a final 26-man squad will be hosting or playing in the Qatar World Cup. Na emuna abato say players bu onuma ye ni ediomachi na ye bemo abakwasem kakra bi ye beka no twi na the brofo no so afefemu say they call no we say globally people are watching and people really want to understand what we are saying on this platform. So this means that the World Cup door shuts at any player who does not make it into the provisional list. That is, we are talking about 10 players who are likely to make the squad ahead of Qatar 2022. The start fourth appearance at the Mundial. So we start with the captain of the side, Andre Dede Ayew. So profile, Andre Dede Ayew, a captain of the Black Star. Your guess is as good as ours to have Dede Ayew, Andre, as our top kick for the list. A few occasions in football have seen the capito of the squad being dropped from the squad ahead of the tournament. Reason could be lack of form or inadequate playing time at the club level, injury or any other fact of insubordination which would get him punished. Which, with the affirmation reasons not attributed to him, one can say that our most clubbed player is assured of upcoming World Cup. It means that the day are you be a bit me edin akaho esa se ohwe ni ndwuma waye abo omunye se wepra anase bibi na ebe the day are you the anya dia beka say be drop no. He's going to play. Next on the list is Thomas Tay Partey. It's a London-based player makes his list and is not surprising. He played an integral part in the team's qualification to the Mundial as he scored the most important goal against the Super Eagles of Nigeria in the playoffs. Partey is one of the most experienced players in the Black Star setup in recent times and doubled as the deputy captain, whose few times of missing a call-up was due to injury. His current form with the club as now makes him the most player Ghana can't let him out of this tournament. Eti Partey no enche Thomas Partey so you be a Ghana for the chipa say Thomas Tay Partey ebetimi and make an appearance in the World Cup. The next person is Jordan Ayew. Experienced Jordan Ayew cannot be left out of the squad provided he is fit. Many Ghanaian fans may not be satisfied with his input in the national team in recent times due to his goal-doubling season. The Crystal Palace-based forward has made 10 appearances for the Stars this year and has scored 1 goal, which is quite disturbing and most is unexpected of him. However, the key word from his name is mentioned. It works rate the same technical handlers of both clubs and country have grown to love him for his effort on the field of play, and that will get him a slot on the squad list. Entino said the Jordan Letiano. Jordan the Ghana for maybe say the me Jordan fan I'm a Jordan Sam, but Ghana for the being penance because of the way I born. But no ni name no kahon the man agrono fena de but better the deba Jordan ba be the peleba. It is said the name no Jordan ninua any Dede Ayew Ghana for per Jordan Asem. Ebi mo so pen asem ebe pe Dede Ayew ebi mo pe Dede Ayew ebi kra sa be the pele ma no ye yi omu nyina efrim. Hey If you see away. Yeah, to us way. The next person is Inaki Williams. So he is a Ghanaian born in Spain who recently switched his nationality to future for the Black Stars and made his debut in the Stars 3-0 defeat against Brazil last month in Le Havre in France. The outcry of many Ghanaians follow football for a goal poacher of what seems to have been heard with his inclusion. The Atletico Madrid-based striker is very good with his scoring abilities, and for him to be left out of the squad will not much of good news to be a good news. So it will not be a good news, yes. So Inaki has made 10 appearances for his club level in Spain, has scored 4 goals so far. So now people are saying that Inaki Williams and Jordan, who is the best striker? But the thing is, who has experience in the local side as when it comes to Black Stars? So the next person on the list is Jojo Walcott. So Walcott's inclusion in the Black Star squad in October 2021 came as a surprise to many who had barely heard his name. Then the Sweden town goalkeeper was invited as a placement for the safest pair of hands, Richard Ofori, who was injured. He made his debut with the team in a 3-1 2022 FIFA World Cup qualification win over Zimbabwe in October, as in 9th October 2021, and has since then taken as the first choice goalkeeper for the Stars. Jojo Walcott's setback was the team's poor performance at the 2021 World Cup of Nations, as African World Cup, so we call it African Cup. So we call it African Cup. I didn't say African World Cup, which had then eliminated at the group. So the Black Stars were eliminated at the group stage. And that competition, Jojo Walcott was the one in goal post, and people were like, Charlie, the guy know the fit do anything. But you know, his inclusion has come up to the World Cup playoff, which Ghana qualifies at the expense of Nigeria. So the next person is Dennis Odwe. Born to a Ghanaian father and a Belgian mother, Dennis Frimpong Odwe has spent most of his days as a professional footballer playing for the various clubs in Belgium, and even played once for the national team, as in the senior national team in 2012. Yes, Daniel Odwe. Nicknamed the Professor because of his maturity and discipline on the field of play, Odwe started his intention to play for Ghana in 2024 and has become the definition of never lose hope in your dreams, because 8 years later, he made his debut on March 25th this year. The right-footed fullback who can play on both sides gave a good account of himself after his debut, as he gone ahead to make 4 appearances for the Black Stars. At club level, the 34-year-old has been enjoying most of his playing at Belgium First Division, a side club, Bagrov KV, since joining them in February this year. So, can it be that he is 34 years or the club is 34 years? This impression performs with the Belgium side has earned him 4 clean sheets of his year European Champions League competition, and such a play, if not injured, cannot be left out of the Stars squad. The next on the list is Kudos Mohammed. The exclusion of the star boy Kudos might cause disturbances or stress or inaccuracy or people not watching the World Cup on the streets of Accra. Meaning that with the sub of Nima leading, the youngster has scored 5 times for the senior national team since his debut in 2019. The informal attack is a must-have in the squad to reproduce all the chances that we lose to make a goal. This impression from with the Dutch club Ajax, where he has scored 9 goals so after 10 appearances. So it means that the 10 appearances he scored 9 goals. Only one game that it looked like he didn't score. So we need him. He has to be a sharp striker. But who would drop a youngster who had been tipped to shine at the upcoming World Cup? Well, not much can be said about him because the Ajax star is heading to the World Cup. Next is Mohamed Salisu. One way to avoid humiliation at the World Cup is to have a solid defense for the team, and that is where Mohamed Salisu comes in. A highly ranked defender in the English Premier League finally made his debut for the Stars in their international friendly against Brazil on 23 September this year. A second half substitute in the game which exposed the team's defense challenged by conceding 3 goals in the first half. Salisu introduced saw an impressive side in the second half and proved to Ghanaians that he is the best person to be at our defense. He is ranked high in England, and he was later given his first start in his next match against Nicaragua, where the team managed to keep a clean sheet. After missing out on a few national team call-ups, Ghanaian fans were excited to see the young player in the Black Stars jersey and will not accept him missing out in the final squad. The next one is Isaku Fatau. Isaku may be the youngest player in the recent Black Star team, but is still impressive on the pitch. Display on the field of play when caught up makes him one of the wingers for Qatar 2022. The teenager had already consented himself as a key player in the Stars setup following his exploits at the under-20 level, where he only did what he did to win the title, but also adjudged the best player of the tournament. So the 18-year-old, after the youth tournament, required the interest of a slew of top European clubs, including Liverpool, Red Bull, Salzburg, Ajax, Brazil, Bayer Leverkusen, and Sporting CP, who had later joined. The Rising Star has made 10 appearances for the senior team and has on the score sheet in the team's recent finale against Nicaragua. He has won the admiration of both the technical team and the Ghanaian public and will sure make the final squad. The next person will be Philemon Bafo. Well, even when he was not the best fullback in the Ghana under-20 side that won the CAF under-20 AFCON or was at his best in the local scene for Dreams, Bafo had handed call-up and was even included in the team that represented the country in AFCON 2021. A scene during the World Cup qualified against South Africa when Bafo, who was part of the initial team, was overlooked for Fatau Mohamed, a player who caught up due to the absence of first choice right back Andy Yadom. Mohamed on this debuted and played the entire duration of the game against the South Africans, but was dropped after. But Balfour, who has benched on Mohamed and yet to make his senior debut, was included in the squad. So, counting the number of times the 20-year-old has made the list, it was set to be a surprising if the new Edwin Jima, a player mostly notable, handed Black Stars call-up but was never featured, does not make the provisional list now as a foreign-based player with real avo in Portugal. And this is what people are saying, that if we are going to get people to play, then we need experienced people who have the clouds, who play in and out. And these are the 10 possible players that you will be seeing on the list. Aside that, Lixdof TV on Lixdof Street Sports will be bringing you the rest of the details. It's in the players are waiting me home and your bomb ding and maybe my bomb ball and your my end. And that was it. So share ye now waiting me and who say Lixdof Street Sports. Yeah, buy the sports, the bro. But what do you save now more man for who say yes, channel number, YouTube channel no, subscribe, share. Na man for nya. And that was so nya share.
Lixdof Street Sports, sports and entertainment.